Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs him up 5. First and 15. Running left, here's Mitchell. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress. Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. To throw is Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. That's taken on the 25. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Quick throw out wide, and Pierce has got it. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. First carry of the game for Zamir White. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut. And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he is going to have the Jets first down as they're able to convert by 20 there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard. Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Brissett. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Jets. Alec Pierce with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jets are on the board here first in the season opener. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And some room to run now. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, 59 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. He missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Brissett. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time. Developed. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Brissett now. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
1st down, here's White. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, here's Brissett. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Max Crosby is really starting to get his due around the league as one of the best young pass rushers in the game. 25 sacks in his first 3 seasons.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Antonio Gibson, 34 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. The point after through the raindrops. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they're both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A handoff from Mitchell running left. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on the A's. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there. Chase Young in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Trying the right side with Mitchell. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me? Terrible. Awful.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 28. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1st down, here's Mitchell. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson, right side. There's Likely with it. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action now. Brissett. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. The guy's made complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Extra point by Gale is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And that was going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like when he saw it all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And taken right at the 35. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. White running to the left. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Brissett. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson going for the deep ball. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Jets are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. 2nd and 12. Here's Brissett. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brissett. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. And taken right on the 30. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Jets are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, I saw the pressure coming in, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Here's Wright. They set up the screen. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Brissett flushed out right.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by a feet too low from room.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Already enjoying a two-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get three to add.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Going up top. He's got him in. Complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a 33-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, It is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
On second down, they'll run with White. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 73 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
He's advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
They go right back to White here on first down. Room here to run. 20. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 41 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Gibson. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Not a whole lot there on first and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Will Dissly from 8 yards out. And the Jets are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Gaines. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. But once again, it's Mitchell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 109 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
First and 10. It's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. He's got a man complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Second and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Touchdown! Elijah Mitchell. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So a very important first drive of the third quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a first and 10.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Throwing, Brissett.
Ball delivered complete on the crossing route, Gallup.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Opting to run again here with White. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They go play action with Brissett. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the third quarter. To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson, and he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Make a play.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they can get. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that 1st down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the first. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down. Back to the ground here, Mitchell. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo up.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Xander Horvath with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. The extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Brissett sets to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Oh, look at the juke. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's got Pierce. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Brissett. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
First down, Brissett. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Brissett. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with White, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the 1st of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning.
Keep it up. Good ball, baby.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
They'll run a jet sweep here with Pierce. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning.
Here's Brissett. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the 1st down at around the 22. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Gay knocks this one through. And make this a 9-point lead. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablet.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Jets will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee. The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take the knee.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. We'll see always a little extra excitement for week one. And one of our early window games here in week one on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Jets, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins.